Windows to nowhere. This video is about the Peruvian trapezoidal windows and doors to nowhere. Let's call them niches. Peruvian megalithic sites are filled with enigmas and mysteries. It's like a bottomless box filled with impossible puzzles. You start with a puzzle on top, but then you find yourself intrigued by the enigma underneath it. Simply, if you're the kind of logical, common-sense person that won't give up on a puzzle, then don't start digging around in the ancient architecture of Peru. Yes, there are trapezoidal windows and doorways in several corners of the world, but in Peru they are different. 4 odd facts about the trapezoidal architecture of ancient Peru. 1. More than 90% of the trapezoidal windows don't have a view. 2. A lot of the doorways go straight into the ground. 3. All buildings, temples, and structures have an entrance on just one side. There is never a back or side door. And 4. There are always at least 2 niches inside any roofed structure. I have done some research, and there is basically 5 theories, and each of them have merit. But it's the 4th and 5th theories that really need some explaining. But I'll be quick. Here we go. First, each niche is a place to put an item, a statue or a carving. Give the room some homey touches, maybe an item from your grandmother or great-grandfather to remember your ancestry. Second, each niche is a place to put a heating lamp, and this makes sense as they might not have had the wheel, but certainly they had slow-burning waxes and oils. They must have had heat, and the middle of the room doesn't have any burnt stone, so it seems that on the coldest nights each niche would have a heating lamp. Third is that there is a harmonics quality to the niches in that the trapezoidal shape emits a soothing resonance or tone when you hum into the niche. And I love that we're considering all of our senses because we have to, but I just don't know what to do with this theory. The 4th is that each niche is actually a telepathic or even physical portal into a direct line to the other locations across the mountains. I laughed at this one at first, but then I did some research, took a look at a map, and located the 5 most significant ancient megalithic locations. They are Machu Pichu, Ollantaytambo, Pisac, Tambomachay, and Sacsayhuaman. And the first thing I noticed is that Machu Picchu, Ollantaytambo, and Pisac line up perfectly. Could that mean something? Is it possible that these niches align with each other? Is it possible that there was a tech that we don't currently have? Communication or teleportation? So I studied those 3 sites and determined their orientation and the direction to which their niches face, i.e., what direction are you looking towards when you're standing in front of them? And Machu Picchu and Pisac fit the bill. There are a lot of niches at Machu Picchu, and they point in all sorts of directions, but there is one niche in the Temple of the Sun that points straight down the sacred valley towards Ollantaytambo and all the way to Pisac. It's Ollantaytambo that doesn't have anything that points back at the other 2. So, oh well. So much for that thought. Unless what used to be standing on top of that ridge at Ollantaytambo did at one time have a niche wall that aligned with the other 2. That megalithic location was destroyed. Is it possible that there was a structure like any one of the 5 structures that are at Pisac? If yes, then I think we're on to something here. And what's more, Tambomachay's niches do point directly at Sacsayhuaman, but Sacsayhuaman doesn't have any that point back. And perhaps Sacsayhuaman at one time used to have a 4-sided structure at its top. Again, something like what you find at Pisac. A 4-sided building would align perfectly with Machu Picchu and Ollantaytambo. But Sacsayhuaman, was largely pillaged. Most of its top stones are gone. Is it possible that both Ollantaytambo and Sacsayhuaman used to have a 4-sided structure on their tops, just like Pisac? Or a rectangular structure with just 2 niche walls? It would tie it all together. And the 5th theory is that each niche was a place to put your most personal belongings, and nobody would dare touch them there. A certain strict honor code kept your items untouched. It's been said that the Kilki and the Inca didn't know what stealing was. It was so unacceptable that it simply didn't happen. So if you left your things in your niche, they would be safe until the end of each day when you returned. This also explains why there is only one door in. It's kind of like a locker room. I like this theory, and it makes sense to me. So, to summarize what these windows to nowhere were for, as much as I think that the portal theory answers a lot of questions and certainly grabs my imagination, I need more than just geographic coincidences and conveniences to endorse it. From what I have read, the ancients did not know what lies, secrets, and stealing were, and with that in mind, I have thrown myself deeply into this incredibly efficient, honorable, and unfortunately lost ancient civilization. And now I believe that each niche was a locker into which the next person safely placed all of his worldly possessions. To understand the lives and lifestyles of the people whom lived in Peru thousands of years ago is possible by grasping how an open niche could be the next person's locker, artwork, vault, and resume. I believe that as a person moved up in life with excellent performance, he, and I'm unfortunately not being chauvinist here, but he would be accepted into the next house on the path of his career, and his collection would move into the next niche. The ancient Peruvians lived and slept with the same people with whom they worked. Imagine that you would be given a niche once you had been accepted into a career house. It might be administrative, agriculture, religious, military, or whatever. In a house where there were 10 niches, the personal items of 10 people. There were 10 bunk beds, and there was an unspoken honor system. This was an extremely minimalistic and secure society. I rather envy it, actually. If it's a portal that you want, then stand in front of any one of these niches and imagine what that person used to keep sitting on that stone, unlocked and yet perfectly safe. No stealing, no secrets, no lies. Wow. I feel that I have finally found a puzzle with an answer. But then I'm left with another puzzle that is literally right underneath it. These trapezoidal niches are of recent construction and also of the original megalithic stonework which I, and many others, believe date back to long before the Inca. So this honor code society existed for thousands of years within various cultures here in Peru, and ended with the arrival of the conquistadors. So, what about the trapezoidal doorways to nowhere? Okay, I didn't get into the doors as much as I wanted to, and I will confess, I think there's enough on this topic to warrant a whole nother video. So until the next video, I hope you enjoyed this topic. Like and share. Thank you.